Hey, hello everyone. Welcome once again to the Silly Pointer. Yeah, as usual, we are late for the episode.
Come
Um,
on, man, bring some energy. It's Silly Pointer, episode number 3. We are
hey,
back.
you,
This
you
IPL season,
bloody,
we are back.
you bloody finish your evening shift and call me on a call after that. Anyway, we are back. Yes, we are back, and IPL number 18 is back. IPL 18 for number 18. Uh,
Evenings are going to
we,
be a lot less lonely for many people now. And so we don't have to
yeah,
plan anything. We'll have matches to watch. So, yes,
yeah, we just
exciting two
finished
months ahead.
the Delhi and Lucknow match. I think considering how one-sided the other matches have been so far, this has to be the match of the season. But I mean, we're just one weekend into the league. Uh, uh, Teams are still warming up and figuring out combinations. So I think better late than never. And welcome back, Bhai. Welcome back. How are you doing? And what do you say? How is this season looking for you?
Amazing, man. Lot of changes going into the auction. So, firstly, excited to be doing this podcast once more. So we'll try to get more episodes in a more crisp manner. We've been trying to manage with a busy schedule, so let's put it that way. But yeah, we will obviously try to get more better podcasts and better content. And we're starting off obviously, and we have a great season of cricket a month ahead of us. So let's see. Let's start from here by giving a preview. And this season looks really exciting to answer your question. And of course, this mega auction, new revamp of the teams. Some teams maintaining their core, some totally going for a different change altogether. So it's very interesting. And Hyderabad, the way they're playing, it's scary. So it's a lot of things to look. We'll go one by one.
Yeah,
So you want to start with some particular topic, or what has been like your major, like if you look at the auction, what do you think are the
yeah.
major players or major picks that you would go, like any five picks on the auction that you'd like to highlight?
Yeah. So, going into the auction, obviously, it's the start of a new cycle. So, as you said, the teams have obviously looked for a revamp. Some of them have tried to maintain their core. Uh, and I think this mega auction is actually the first indication of the major transition from the OGs of the IPL, and now IPL moving into the new era. The other day I happened to see the captain's photo shoot pictures that was out on Instagram, and then how people showed the transition between Dhoni, Kohli to Ruturaj and Rajat, and Rohit also no longer the captain of Mumbai, and Hardik. So I think slowly, you see a new identity with each of the teams. Obviously, the marquee clubs. It's going to be very interesting to see. Probably not this year, but then say a couple of years down the line. I don't know how long these marquee players are going to be playing, but it's going to be very interesting to see the brand value of these franchises, which are predominantly defined by these marquee players, say a Dhoni for a CSK or a Virat for an RCB. I think Mumbai has fairly managed that transition well. But yeah, answering your question, right? There's a lot to talk about, but answering your question, top five picks of the auction, if you have to ask me. I haven't done my research as much, but the first thing I would say is not a pick, but it's I think the biggest surprise of the season. And I think Iyer spoke about it openly as well. Is that he wasn't given as much credit to for the campaign and for the wonderful
Mhm.
season victory
With KKR. Yeah.
that he took KKR too, right? And with Gambhir and Abhishek Nair obviously landing India coaching roles, the KKR management would have already known that Gambhir and Abhishek are not going to be part of the team much before the mega auction itself. So having known that, and having had such a wonderful campaign, and having had all the blocks working for you, it was very surprising how KKR let go of Shreyas, right? I mean, if I had been in the KKR management, I would have gone all out in retaining Shreyas and, backing him and saying that, hey, you know what? Although probably his batting wasn't needed. It's wrong to say that he didn't perform well as a player because his batting wasn't needed. Sunil Narayan and Phil Salt did most of the work for them
Yeah.
with the batting last season, and Venki Iyer, added on to it. So Shreyas did not get as many opportunities to show his full potential as a batter, but you obviously need the leadership to to run a campaign as long as an IPL with such a competitive environment around. So I think, yeah, Shreyas Iyer being released from KKR was one of my biggest
He,
surprises of the auction.
he
Or
makes it to
the
my list as well. Just imagine, like, interesting twilight in his career, you can say. Everyone knew he had the potential when he burst onto the scene initially with Mumbai, attacking batsmen, very flamboyant. He scored hundreds against the visiting Australian team as well. Like when he was performing, when he was playing for Mumbai, got drafted. Everyone talked about his potential, but somehow he underperformed in his initial career. Then you can say he lost his contract with the BCCI. Then again, KKR happened. He won the tournament. Now he's performing brilliantly again in the middle order. So it's a beautiful journey that he's been through, and with maturity, I think he'll be able to deliver much more. So it's an interesting pick that KKR let him go, and it's a big plus to interesting combination to see Ricky Ponting and Shreyas
Yeah.
Iyer. How will they go about things? I think they both of them are very aggressive. So it will be very, very interesting to look at how Punjab goes about. And
Yeah, no.
15.75 crores for a captain of his caliber is, I think, a great, great pick in the auction for Punjab,
I think
who are looking
Shreyas
to
Shreyas
redevelop.
Shreyas went for 25 plus, right? Shreyas was the most expensive buy at the auction.
25, a punt went for 27.
Yeah, but Shreyas
Yeah,
went for somewhere near 25 or something. But the event leading up to the auction, so Pointing and Iyer have worked together at Delhi as well, and that was the season where Iyer led Delhi to the finals as well. Again,
yeah.
re-emphasizing the fact that Iyer has a proven captaincy record in the IPL, and Pointing also has struggled a lot post, you know, when Iyer moved out from Delhi to KKR. So Pointing was very eager to work with Iyer. So yeah, I mean it'll be interesting to watch. But I mean, if you look at the team watch, I'm not really sure about Punjab. But yeah, let's continue with the auction picks, right? The second one for me would be, and this is not because we're doing this podcast after Hyderabad have played one game, but would be Ishan Kishan to Hyderabad, right? Because um, if you see last season, of course, I mean the
Bizarre.
way Travis said, the way Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma carried the campaign along, but Hyderabad was still known for kind of having a lot of foreigners in the squad, not knowing who to play where, how to have that combination right with the four foreigners to get a player of a caliber of Ishan Kishan at that price, despite having spent so much on retentions, it was a steal. It was a steal, and Ishan Kishan, although had a very poor season with MI, again, I wouldn't. I mean, the entire MI season last year was an outlier, right? You can't really put that into logical sense. It was a captaincy transition, and it's an open secret on the fact that it wasn't handled that well.
Mm.
So probably a player like Ishan Kishan uh, couldn't find his spot or couldn't find his identity in the
Yeah,
midst of
it's
all
all
that
about, again,
chaos.
he spoke yesterday after that brilliant 100 that he scored also. It's all about playing with freedom. That freedom that Pat Cummins offers is something maybe that was lacking last year. And yes, like the
The entire template, right? The entire template that SRH has been playing with for the past two seasons, and also you need to understand that Ishan Kishan probably is a very weird case in Indian cricket as well. He scored a double century in ODI, and poor guy has not featured for India after that, right? And
Yeah.
then you had that attitude issue and he losing his contract, central contract and stuff. So he's been having a point to prove. And then I mean I think he has a big season ahead of him, just so that he wants to get back into contention for India. He obviously wouldn't want to lose his spot. So yeah, I think Ishan Kishan to Hyderabad is my second pick.
So, if like in the interest of time, who are the remaining three picks? We'll just summarize it quickly this section. So my five picks, I'll go first. One would be Shreyas Iyer, then
Yeah,
Rishabh Pant captaincy with Lucknow Super Giants, the entire episode over the boss being toxic in Lucknow, and he is requiring a redemption in his career. So Rishabh Pant would be one. Then Josh Butler to Gujarat
yeah,
Titans. I think that's a very interesting pick, and
yeah,
complementing Shubman Gill at the top. It's a very interesting combination. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, all our fallen heroes,
yeah,
getting a chance of redemption. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar to RCB. He didn't get
yeah.
picked unfortunately for yesterday's game, so I think he has a lot to offer at Chinnaswamy especially.
No, he was
And
injured, so I mean he's an automatic
oh,
selection. But yeah,
he was injured.
yeah,
Okay, I thought.
yeah.
So yeah, these are my top five: Shreyas Iyer, Rishabh Pant, Ishan Kishan, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, and Josh Butler.
All right. Yeah, so I think I have Iyer again. I wouldn't say Punjab buying him, but more so KKR not retaining him.
Mm,
Second, obviously, Ishan Kishan. Third would be KL Rahul to Delhi, but that depends on where they make him bat. I really believe KL Rahul should open the innings now that he is not captaining. I think that would just free him up, and that would really set the tone for how Delhi plays this season. From what I'm hearing, they are looking to play him at number four, which I'm not really sure of. But a scale round to Delhi at that
mm,
price is a really good buy for Delhi in retaining the Indian core also for years to come, as I've been speaking about, right? So that would be third. Fourth, obviously, would be Josh Butler to Gujarat. Again, that's a very. I mean, it's close to unbelievable on how RR let him go. Sanju Samson again openly spoke about it. He addressed it to Butler saying, "I can't believe you're not playing with us this year." So yeah, again, I think and again Butler recently just stepping down from England captaincy. I think there's just a lot of stuff in his head that he can just let go of, just express himself out there. And yeah, it will be very interesting to see how
yeah,
Butler goes at Gujarat. And then the last one for me um, would be a very smart pick and a very emotional one as well is Ashwin to CSK, right?
and
Yeah, I think he's been longing for it, and strategically also. So that becomes the emotional question. But strategically also, I think CSK from a bowling department have formed a very good core to kind of make continue Chennai as their fortress. If they can make 6 out of 7 games, home games, victories, I think that will help them in good stead. So those did I name five? I think those are my top
yeah.
five.
That's
Yeah,
good. So before we move on to the next section, I'd like to take you back to the first podcast we did. If you remember, we spoke about the ecosystem that IPL is creating and how this could emerge into a big brand and build. So yesterday while watching the MI game, have you heard of Ryan Rickelton anytime? Like Ryan
yeah,
Rickelton, yeah. So he's a product of that, right? He performed at MI Cape Town and got drafted
yeah.
into Mumbai Indians. So yeah, just that took
So
me back
there's
to our
this
conversation
spectrum.
that we had.
Correct. And there's this spectrum. On one end of the spectrum is Ryan Rickelton, which, as you said, is a draft which he's been playing for
Yeah,
Mumbai associated leagues across the globe. And then there's this other guy, I forgot the name of the spinner here, the Kerala spinner who took 3 wickets or something.
Even like yesterday,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
and he's not even played for his state team. So the Mumbai scouting team picked him up from a local Kerala league,
yeah.
which is at the college level league or something. And then he comes and he picks up 3 wickets against Chennai in Chennai, man.
Vignesh Puttur.
So Vignesh Puttur, yes. So those are the two ends of the spectrum. IPL is really a gift to Indian cricket, man.
Mm.
Yeah,
Important to channelize it and pick the right people at the right time. So,
yeah.
so,
So
so
let's go to the teams.
before
You
that,
want to
like
start off?
any interesting captaincy choices you think? Bold captaincy choices. I think there are quite a few. Ajinkya Rane is number one for
Yeah,
me. Like
uh,
KKR making Ajinkya Rane from being nowhere in the picture to suddenly becoming captain.
yeah,
And again, Rajat Patidar for RCB. That's a very interesting
yeah,
choice. Big opportunity to captain the side like RCB. Then I think, yeah, these two I come up, and Rishabh Pant, I think, being captain for Lucknow, he's not performed that well as a captain, or by nature. I
yeah.
don't think uh, he needs to sort out his batting, I think, much anytime before leading from the front. So these three interesting choices I
Also,
can see.
also, no, also Akshar Patel for Delhi, right? Very unlikely
Very
figure.
unlikely, but I think
Yeah,
well, if you look at Rishabh Pant and if you look at Akshar Patel has been riding high on success lately with the Indian team in ODIs as well as T20s. So I think that could work in favor. But yeah, Rishabh Pant again, don't know where his career is going right now.
yeah. Yeah, so so I agree with you. I think when it comes to what was the first name? Ajinkya Rane, right? So I think what was happening with Venki Iyer's auction battle between RCB and KKR also, if you notice that battle, they were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and both the teams needed a captain at that stage. So I think RCB was also looking at Venki Iyer as their captain. But when obviously they went above budget, and then they stopped the bidding for him, I think KKR initially would have thought for him to be the captain, but then when Ajinkya Rane went unsold, I don't think they picked Ajinkya Rane with the view of having him as a captain. They just thought that, okay, there's a senior figure again with the management changes happening, with the senior players moving out, the India senior players moving out, a senior figure in the dressing room should help, right? And I think that since again this being a 3-year cycle, Jinx would be like a temporary appointment guiding Venki through this season. And probably Venki should be announced next year, if not the year
Mm,
after.
yeah,
But again, Rajat has a, he's coming from, a captaincy tenure with MP. He led MP to the SMAT final, right, which is a
mm,
domestic tournament, a premier
yeah,
domestic. And Rajat seems to have that captaincy potential. I watched some of the SMAT games. I happened to catch the highlights. So yeah, Pant again. I stand with you. It could go either way, and it could have a massive impact on his career.
yeah.
I really wish that, his
He
talent is
turns it
not
around.
wasted. Yeah,
Yeah,
his talent is not wasted. That environment is a very high risk, a very high pressure
toxic.
environment to prove himself as a player and then as a captain. So I think he has loads of pressure on his head right now. Let's see. But I think as far as captaincy is concerned, as I said, it represents that shift between moving from, the legacy players leading teams to the young ones, uh, forming
Right.
the core and culture of each franchise for years to come. So Hardik Pandya, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Rajat Patidar, Venki Iyer, Akshar Patel,
Yeah,
Rishabh Pant. These guys are going to form the culture and core of what that franchisee stands for and represents for in the
but
years to come. Yeah.
Sanju
I think
Samson.
IPL, yeah, Sanju Samson. So I think IPL very well in its 18th era has become an adult, has come of age, and I think is entering its a new era, which is going to redefine T20 cricket, if it's not done already.
Yep. You wanted to move on to the teams next, right? So,
Yeah.
like, any teams you think trying to prove hard a point, they need to perform this year, like to stay true to their name.
If you ask me that way, then what better name than RCB, right? I mean, they come year after year after year. There is hordes of expectations from the fans, from the players, from the competition as well. I think the other teams also want RCB to stay as long as the competition as possible because it just creates the entire hype and aura for the game and the event overall, right? But
I
yeah,
think
along with
RCB is an automatic choice, I think, to qualify into this category where year after year they show promise. One or the other department, they seem to correct their batting as well as bowling. But year after year, they start well and they falter in between. I don't know what goes wrong. And
no, but I think this time around they have actually figured what might not be working for them. See, the thing is, the one stat I kept seeing and I wasn't aware of it all these years was that RCB is the only team which has lost more games than won at home. So
mm,
and it becomes very crucial for a successful team to make their home ground their strength, right?
right,
You can travel, you can be good travelers, and you're bound to lose two or three games here and there. But unless and until you have a strong concrete foundation at home, you're not going to, be assured of place in the league. And having said that, Chinnaswamy is not a easy ground to, to make a home to, right? Because it's small and the pitch
yeah,
is a batsman's paradise and all of that, right? And I think that's where they went wrong all these seasons. They thought it's small, it's a batsman's paradise. So let's just keep strengthening our battings, and then they came up with adding those big names over the years, right? I'm not saying they've got
that
their
that seemed to
balance
work in their favor. Yeah,
to an
look,
extent.
yeah,
Again, as I said, they happen to lose more games than they won. But I mean, no team would I say is perfectly balanced. I think the team that comes closest would be SRH and MI, but MI also if Bumrah is fit and all of that considering. But then each team has its own strengths and weaknesses, and RCB also have theirs. Again, would they go on all the way this year? I'm not sure. But do they have the balance more than what they have from previous years? They certainly seem to have that. And time will say how. And it's not only how that team is configured, right? It's also how the dynamics of the other team changes.
right.
And after a mega auction, each team is going to change
It's
its DNA and its dynamic.
Yeah, I think it will take the first of the tournament. First half of the tournament would be pretty much finding their best 11 is what like maintaining the core, but finding the best 11 would be pretty much the target for all the teams. And
Yeah.
some would strike gold and some would suffer. And I think let's see where RCB is
I
in
think
this.
I think I think as compared to the other teams in the league, RCB might be in the top half than the bottom half. So as you rightfully said, if they are the teams that find their combination earlier are
Yeah,
better placed to make the playoffs. And I think RCB, it's also because they can't tinker around much. So they don't have many options also. Like in the spin department, you cannot tinker around much. In the bowling department, it's going to be Hazelwood, Bhuvi, Dayal, and Rasikdar if you need
yeah.
another fourth pacer. But then these three, and then you have Krunal and Suyash, and then Livingston and all these guys coming in. So it's pretty much fixed. I think there are only two spots that RCB will tinker around with. So
I think that's an.
fortunately or unfortunately, you don't
Like,
have much to
I
tinker around with.
would like to interrupt you here, but it's an interesting name you mentioned, Rasikdar. He is from
Yeah,
Jammu and Kashmir. A lot of
Jammu and
promise.
Kashmir.
Big fast bowler. So if he does well at Chinnaswamy, it's going to be really great for his career from point of view. Small grounds, defending hotels at Chinnaswamy or restricting opponents in the first place. He didn't play yesterday, right? Did
He did. So
he? Did.
he filled in for Bhuvi. So
Oh,
I don't think he's going to be an automatic starter. It's Bhuvi, Dayal, Hazelwood, Krunal, Suyash, and Livingston
mhm.
primarily. And I don't know if they didn't bowl Tim David, but Tim David can also bowl a couple of overs.
Yeah.
So most likely that's going to be the bowling lineup for RCB. But yeah, I think RCB are more and about there. Um,
Is this
uh,
going to be the year for Virat Kohli to get his orange cap again?
Orange cap. Uh, I don't think so because he's changed his approach. I think he's going to be much more aggressive with Phil Salt. So you may see not as much quantum of runs that he scores, but I think the pace at which he scores would be a little bit more quicker. So I don't think he will be in contention for the orange cap, but you never know with Virat. Consistency is his best friend. So yeah.
See,
But then moving on.
I tried to remain very neutral dancing.
So did I. Yeah. Well, then moving on, what is the interesting team? I think the teams that would struggle, right? I think if I can take the bunch of it and you can add on to it, would be LSG, Punjab, and unfortunately KKR. I am also placing CSK somewhere in the middle. I don't know for sure whether they will qualify, but then certainly LSG, Punjab, and KKR might struggle.
I think I see Gujarat Titans also struggling a bit, like to add to your list, I feel. They didn't, they felt like last year also, if you see, they were pretty much, they didn't find their mojo after the victory that they had a couple of seasons back. So I expect pretty much that to continue, and Shubman Gill as a captain seems pretty lost sometimes. So that could be a possibility. Gujarat could be struggling. Punjab, I think like it could go either ways with Punjab. It could they could either have a. It all depends on I think against Shreyas Iyer, Maxwell to carry the burden of the team on them. So it could go either ways, and I hope it is good for them this year because I think they've been struggling a lot since 18 years, just like
Yeah.
RCB. So just for like let's hope that they do well. And apart from that, I think you mentioned CSK. I mean, CSK has a good balance and they can do well. So I see them in contention for the top four.
So their middle order doesn't look as explosive here. I mean, Shivam Dubey also wasn't as effective as he was a couple of seasons back last season.
Mm,
And again, them placing, and I don't know what they did yesterday. What was the thinking behind opening with Rahul Tripathi and then getting Rituraj to number three?
yeah.
I think Devon Conway should play
Mm.
with Rachin or ahead of Rachin. Yes, Rachin did end up scoring yesterday, but their middle order looks a little brittle, and I think they have a solution to that as well, but I don't know why they are hesitant to do that. MS Dhoni should bat up the order. MS Dhoni should bat ahead of Jadeja.
I,
I think, yeah.
I think MS Dhoni batting ahead is, I don't think he has it in him now. Like, to be very honest, he can come and when there's nothing to lose, he can swing the bat and go after the bowling just
No,
to
but then
get the.
that's affecting the combination of the team, is what I mean.
It does
So,
it,
yeah.
like it's a open fact, right? He's just playing for the fans and for the popularity of the game. Like he's not the MS Dhoni. Even during the fag end of his career, he had already lost the batting abilities that he had in the initial stages of his career, or the when he was at his peak. So, like I don't expect Dhoni to turn around innings or something with his batting. It's just a popularity point of view that he's there in the team. Like to be pretty blunt, but yeah, like he adds entertainment value, that is for sure. But it's only going to be, I think, when he has nothing to lose and freely he gets to swing this bat and hit some couple of sixes for him to get there.
Maybe because last time when he came around for those four, five, six balls, his strike rate was about 200. So I mean, this is my personal opinion. I know it's not going to happen, which is why I tout CSK to be somewhere in the middle of the table. But yes, LSG, Punjab, and KKR are teams that I think have not got their balance right, and they might struggle.
Even LSG, I think with Nicholas Puran, like if he does well at the top, he can
Yeah, but
certainly carry
that's
the
too much to
weight.
ask of him.
Yeah, it is too much to us, but some like it could be the season for him. Like again, he's another player that has great potential, and everyone has been banking on to perform, but he hasn't been there yet. So again, this could be the breakout year for him, possibly, and
Yeah,
with that, he could
yeah.
carry his team as well.
Puran definitely is one player to look out for. And I missed out Rajasthan as well, yeah. They letting go of Trent Bolt, Ashwin, Chahal, it's madness. I can't even imagine. And Jofra Archer is not the same Jofra Archer
And,
before his injuries and all of that. And with the kind of pace that he bowls, with the kind of line and length that he bowls, he is bound to go for runs.
mm,
Yesterday, he became the
76
most
runs.
expensive, yeah, most expensive spell. So again, Rajasthan, I think, have got a lot to work for them to turn around their campaign and make it to the playoffs. And also Mumbai also has big names, but Rohit has only had two 400 plus seasons in IPLs, and you saw how brittle they were
Yeah,
without Bumrah and Hardik.
kind of.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and then Sky is not in the best of his form as well. I'm not saying they might not make it to the playoffs, but that's a very interesting team here.
You
Sorry,
can't
I
write off
interrupted you.
Mumbai. Like they're like they're filled with abundance of good players, and it's just a time. I think once they start winning, it's they just go on a run, and there's no stopping them. So you never can write them off. And yeah, they're like one of the most successful teams in IPL history. So I think they would perform. They said as well as you mentioned, like the crux is very important. Rohit Sharma, it looks weak and lost again at the top, but with Bumrah coming back hopefully by the fourth game and Hardik Pandya available for the next game, I think they should find their balance. I think which was missing yesterday. So I think Mumbai would be fine. And on Rajasthan, I think don't you think they should field Vaibhav Suryavanshi, or is it too early according to you?
They no, yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? I mean,
Exactly, you
go for
purchased
it,
him,
yeah.
so I think go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, and I think knowing Dravid, again, it could go either way. It could go either way. He might just want him to be mentored through the season and then probably expose him in the next season, or probably he'll just say go ahead. But it could, as I said, probably say in the second half of the season, say Rajasthan has like a couple of games or three games left, and they do not have any playoff hopes, right? So
Mm.
then Rahul Dravid might just make changes to the team and say, Anyway, the season is gone. Let's see what this kid has to offer, and let's also give him some exposure for the next season." And then you might see him sometime in the season. I'll not be surprised if he comes on
It's such a
to
tender
play.
age. I think 14 years old. That's some huge opportunity. Again, another thing that IPL is offering.
Yeah, yeah,
It's even Sachin was 16, I think, when he made his debut. He was 14. This is something next level. Like, what were you doing when you
yeah.
were 14?
Uh, I was watching the game. I was still watching the game. I think I continue to do that, but yeah, yeah, it's amazing, man, where the game has gone with the launch of the league. You can't thank the league enough for the game
Thank you, Lilith Murray.
and to Virat Kohli. Yeah. Anyway,
Move on before I say something more.
yeah. So who makes your top four then?
Falling top four now. Okay, so Sunrisers Hyderabad is number one. Hyderabad will, I think, easily walk through to the top four. Then second choice would be Mumbai. Then I would take CSK in the top four. I think RCB. I'll get RCB to the fourth position. So it's first would be Sunrisers, second Mumbai, third could be Rajasthan.
So
Rajasthan,
you're,
I
you're
think
keeping Chennai out.
yes. Chennai fifth.
How do you say Rajasthan can make it? What makes you say Rajasthan can make it?
I think they have a lot of depth in their batting, which can I think carry them through the games.
That's right. That's right. But their bowling looks very weak, man.
It does, but I think yeah, I don't know. It's just a gut feeling. They will somehow manage to get through.
All right, that's interesting. Yeah, I think I agree with a couple of your choices. I'll go with Hyderabad and Mumbai. Mumbai again depends a lot on what Bumrah comes back, which version of the Bumrah comes back as well.
Mm,
Because I don't know if you saw the thing that Shane Bond said, right, with the
yeah,
back-to-back
An- another
injuries.
injury and it could be end of his career.
It is actually true. So the way he bends his back, and we have a England Test series coming up, 5 Test match series coming up June, which is right after the IPL. I
Yeah,
don't know which Bumrah could turn up. I'm sure he has ambitions to extend his national career. So that's going to be really critical. But as of now, where it stands, I'm expecting Bumrah to be fit and come back good. So yeah, it would be SRH, Mumbai, um, uh, uh, Delhi, I would say, and Delhi, and
then
it's a toss-up between. Again, it would be a toss-up between RCB and CSK for the fourth spot.
interesting. And who do you think gives the cup?
You can never call amongst these
It's
top
just
four men.
just
You
just a
can never.
random wild guess if you have to take one. I think it's Hyderabad for me.
Uh, yeah, I think it'll be very difficult to bet against Hyderabad. But I think it could be either of Hyderabad or Mumbai.
They just look like bullies right now. All of them, the top order is totally Abhishek Sharma, Travis Head, then Ishan Kishan also is performing now. Then Klassen comes in. So
Klassen,
all
Nitish Reddy.
Nitish Reddy,
So,
yeah, all
uh,
top fire bullies.
and how the hell did the other franchisees allow Shami to go there, man? I mean, that's just a. Uh, I know I had him in my mind when we were speaking of the top 5 buys in the auction. But then Shami to Hyderabad just changes the entire balance of
Mm,
that squad. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You can't allow the team to be that strong.
Pat Cummins, Chummy, crazy,
Yeah, and
crazy
then
team.
they have Zampa. They have Zampa, who's a very underrated guy. He's not had many opportunities in the IPL because of the team that he's been picked for, a foreign spinner. But now, since they have Travis Head, Klaassen,
Cummins,
Pat Cummins, and Zampa, that's one of the reasons why the other franchises shouldn't have allowed Shami to go there, because now you have a Indian experienced pacer to support Cummins.
yeah,
Cummins has the flexibility to play Zampa in the spin department.
right.
That becomes like a very critical thing for them. Oh, I can see Rishabh talking to Goenka again.
Ah,
Yeah.
great.
Anyway,
So, anything more you would like to add, or it would
who are your players to watch out
watch out
for?
for? Like
Yeah.
I mentioned, I seriously want to look out for Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Lot of promise, 14-year-old. It's not just for the footage or something that has been picked up. Lot of promise in the domestic circuit in the younger boys cricket. So something I hope he gets a chance to play. Then Rasik Dar, as I mentioned, Jammu and Kashmir fast bowler again. Uh, that fast bowling department for India should keep churning out good bowlers and big opportunity there as well. Ashutosh Rana, after seeing what he did today, so another player to watch out for this season. And
Ashutosh Singh.
Ashutosh Singh, sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
Ashutosh Rana. Not bad. And then there's Samir Rizvi for Chennai. If you, I think that's another interesting bat if they
No,
play
man.
him.
Rizvi was released. Rizvi plays for Delhi now.
So okay, yeah, for the
Yeah.
so he played today,
Yeah.
right? I missed up the
Yeah.
name,
Yeah. Correct.
but
Correct.
yeah. He's very promising again. So these are, I think, some players that will hopefully they perform and they are pretty much in line, I think, to make it to the national team as well if they do well.
Yeah. I mean, I have too many players in my mind, so I'll go one player per team, right?
Okay.
And then that's it. So, for For Mumbai, it is going to be Rohit Sharma. I think he still has a point to prove, and I think you can expect a good season out of him. Then for CSK, uh, mm,
Dhoni,
for C, sorry.
Dhoni.
I would love to say Dhoni, but I would love to see him up the order. But I think for CSK, I would go with Khalil Ahmed. He performed very well
Yeah,
yesterday, and I would want to see because if India can produce a bowler of Khalil Ahmed's quality with the consistency, man, that's crazy having Arshdeep and Khalil as
yeah.
two left arm pacers for you in the squad, right? So Khalil Ahmed for CSK. Um, for Hyderabad,
And on that, like India
I
has always had a history of good left arm pacers from say Irfan Pathan, Atish Mehra. So somehow I think briefly Khalil was doing well for India and somewhere lost in the
correct,
plethora of
but
players
I
that have
think
come up in the recent past.
correct, but I think in the CSK setup and CSK culture, the way they happen to groom and mentor players, Khalil could be a really good find
Yeah.
to recalibrate his career and get him back on track. So yeah, so that will be for me. And then from Hyderabad, from Hyderabad, I would like to see how Nitish Reddy continues to perform.
Hmm.
So Nitish Reddy, and then uh, from RCB, it has to be the captain. From RCB, I would want to see how Rajat
Rajat Patel.
continues to play as a player and as a captain. He's an extremely talented player, extremely talented. I recognized him about 4 years back itself. But yeah, I would want to see how he takes on the pressure of the captaincy as well. And then for Delhi, it has to be KL Rahul. Again, depends on where he bats.
Hmm.
Um, then Lucknow, for Lucknow, uh, uh, going by, yeah, it has to be Pant, right? Because there's a
Puran,
lot
Nicholas
riding.
Puran as well.
Correct, but just from the different facets of
Yeah,
captaincy, his
right.
personal point, yeah, to career and everything. So yeah, and then which team? KKR. KKR, KKR again. I would like to see Venki Iyer because I think he is captain in line, and
Yeah,
to see how he performs with that huge price tag against his name. For Rajasthan, it would be Dhruv Jurel. Yesterday,
we played great match.
yeah,
Yeah,
after having those early wickets also, they did go on to score 240, and Dhruv scored a 70 on 30 balls or something like that.
yeah,
Dhruv Jurel is one to watch
and
out for.
all clean hitting like no slogging,
Clean
nothing.
hitting,
It's good.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And then GT is the one that's left.
Shubman Gill, you want him to do well.
You want him to do well, but I think the MVP for them would be Sai Sudarshan because I
Hmm.
think between Shubman and Josh Butler, the point that you said with Shubman's captaincy, I think Butler would be a good addition to have him guide through.
Yeah,
And if Sai Sudarshan performs, then that top three is looking really good
hmm.
between Shubman, Sai Sudarshan, and Josh, right?
Right.
So Sai Sudarshan, I would say. I think I covered all the teams, right?
Yeah, I think we did. There are a lot
Yeah.
of teams now to remember. CSK, I think you did.
No, CSK, I said, right? It
Yeah,
has
yeah,
to
yeah.
be
Right.
Khalil. Yeah. Yeah.
Great, I think.
I think we should do like a weekly review of how the league has been
Top
this
top
week.
moments of the week.
Uh,
Next time.
Top matches, top moments, players, and where the standing is, and yeah.
Yes. So I think yeah, that would allow us to keep it a bit short as well, like doing it on a more recurring basis. So
Yeah.
like whoever's watched this, like do leave your comments and we try to improve on our content and do things more regularly.
All right.
Okay, it was
Thank you, man.
nice.
It's a
It was
pleasure
great
having
chatting
you
on this.
again. Yeah. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. See
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.